Well, folks, we are just days away here from Bloomsday, and this is a major event for the city of Spokane as thousands of people are going to be flooding the streets of downtown to either run, walk, or just volunteer for Bloomsday. And it's a big deal because we're talking the 50th anniversary of this. Of course, this is an outdoor event, and we in previous years past have seen all kinds of weather for Bloomsday as far as nice conditions. We've seen rain, and we've even seen some years with some snow. But as far as what we're expecting to see this year, we're just days away from the big race, and this is a look at kind of what we're preparing to see weather-wise. We're going to start to see some changes now in our weather pattern. As we kind of break this down here, we have a couple of ridges of high pressure that are going to be impacting the inland northwest here over the next couple of days. So this first initial sweep through leading up to Bloomsday is going to deliver us some dry conditions and a gradual warming trend. As we continue to push into this upcoming weekend, though, what we have our eye on is this secondary ridge that is going to get up near the Canadian coast and strengthen as we're moving Saturday night into Sunday. And this is what is going to deliver us some dry conditions for Sunday and Bloomsday itself. So we can kind of watch this pattern here, that shift moving into this upcoming weekend as that ridge of high pressure really strengthens for us Saturday headed into Sunday, delivering us drier conditions as well as a warmer trend. So that's kind of the overall outlook that we have. Of course, we've talked about that so many people just absolutely flood the streets of downtown Spokane. And as far as our race time temperatures go here, for a lot of folks, we start in the morning hours of Sunday, and temperatures are anticipated to be in the 50s. Now, as far as conditions go, we're looking right now at starting off dry, partly cloudy, however, earlier in the morning by the time that a lot of the first waves of Bloomsday runners are starting, and then we'll gradually give way to some mostly sunny conditions the further along into the day that we get. So when it comes to preparing for Bloomsday, hey, the good thing is that right now conditions are anticipated to be dry, but you'll still want to make sure that you're prepared with the sunscreen, staying properly hydrated, as these temperatures around when a lot of folks are going to be either running or walking are gradually going to be climbing here from the 50s up into the low 60s, and then we're even looking at temperatures here climbing up into the low 70s. So that's kind of the breakdown here. Although through the morning hours, again, we're looking at those partly cloudy skies before we gradually will give way to some more sunshine heading into Sunday afternoon. But that's kind of the breakout. The good news with this, though, is that in years past, I mean, some of the Bloomies have run in the rain that we saw a couple of years ago. Some have still participated in Bloomsday when it was snowing. But the good news is that this year we're not looking at some of those inclement weather impacts. We're looking at drier conditions through the first half of our Sunday, as well as a gradual warming trend. Now, actually last year, our daytime highs were trending much warmer than what we're anticipating to see this year, even though this year, when we put it all into perspective, we're still looking at trending above average. Of course, we're still a couple of days here away from Bloomsday, but leading up to it, for any of the last minute race preparations that you might have, you're trying to get in some good walks or a little bit of last minute training. If you plan on doing that outdoors here, we're still looking at mostly dry conditions. We'll watch for a few increasing clouds by Friday night headed into Saturday, but primarily that drier weather pattern is what we're going to see because of that sweep through and strengthening of the ridge of high pressure that's going to build for us off the Canadian coast, but impact us here in the Pacific Northwest and specifically the inland Northwest. As we kind of break down a look at the temperatures, though, one thing to note is that for the training leading up to Bloomsday, I recommend it either in the earlier morning so we can see those comparable temperatures to what we'll be seen on race day itself. And then also because running in the afternoon when our daytime highs are trending this above average in the low 70s here, I mean, you just also have to know and be prepared for that because we saw a couple of days of 70 degrees earlier this month, but really what we're preparing to see is this warmer stretch here for a longer period of time now, actually leading up to Bloomsday on Sunday morning. So starting off partly cloudy, gradually giving way to some more sunshine for that Bloomsday 50th anniversary. Overnight lows Saturday night headed into Sunday are going to drop into the upper 40s, which is why we're estimating right now that by the morning hours of the start time for Bloomsday, we'll be in the 50s. Before then, we gradually see that increase into the low 60s by mid-morning and then low 70s by about lunchtime, and then gradually seeing daytime highs there in the mid 70s by Sunday afternoon. But hey, at least things are looking dry as we move into the big race day. Conditions looking good as well leading up to that for all your training. And as we kind of look down and look at that and break it out, I mean, we're holding pretty steady over the next few days. So if you wanted to get in some of that last minute training in the morning hours, you've got your race group and you know what time you're going to be starting your Bloomsday, either walk or run, you can almost really see the very similar conditions that we'll see leading up to the days because our weather pattern is so consistent all the way Saturday here into Sunday, which is the big Bloomsday race. Of course, this is a forecast that is very important to the inland Northwest. So we'll continue to keep an eye on it, and always you can see the latest updates for you here on the KREM 2 Plus app.